you stuck in your house with nothing to do? Erin is here to bake with you. Quarantine Baking with Erin.
Hi, and welcome to Quarantine Baking with Erin. Today we will be making lemon meringue pie. We're making lemon meringue pie because I had a number of lemons that were starting to go a little soft, so I juiced them, have lots of lemon juice, lemon meringue pie. We'll be working, I'm so excited, I haven't cooked from this cookbook before, from the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook. Shout out to Asma, who got this for me, and then shout out to my mom, who also got it for me, and then I was like, I already have it, because people know me. And so, basically, anytime any food is mentioned, there's a recipe for it. So, in Prisoner of Azkaban, when Uncle Vernon is talking to Aunt Marge, they eat lemon meringue pie. So that's why this recipe's in here. Okay, so to get started, we are going to take pie crust. I already have leftover pie crust from when I made blueberry pie. And I'm not gonna make it from scratch, and I'm not gonna show you again how to do it because it was kind of an ordeal. No, making pie crust is not an ordeal, but I don't want to do it again. So leftover pie crust in my beautiful bees wrap, so it's been preserved in my fridge wonderfully. And then my dad said that when he rolls out pie crust, he does it in between 2 sheets of wax paper. So thanks, Dad. I'm going to try and emulate that today. And we're gonna actually be rolling out 2 pie crusts because for lemon meringue pie, you have to do a blind bake. And a blind bake is when you bake the pie or crust without the pie filling in it. And I don't have, and when the celebrities do it, they use these little baking beans. They're like marbles that go into the pie dish with the pie crust that keeps it all weighed down so that the pie crust doesn't bubble. We don't have any baking beans, so what you can do is you can put the pie crust in the pie dish, put a similar pie dish on top of that pie dish, and then bake it upside down. So, never tried it. I've never actually blind baked before, so we will see if that works out. But the internet said, go ahead, try it. And I said, okay, internet. Why not? All right, so let me cut the pie crust in half, and I'm going to just smooth it out to make 2 little mini pies. All right, Dad, thank you for this tip. I think that this is much better than just trying to roll it out with flour. Okay. So I'm going to put pie crust number 1 into pie dish number 1. Do I think I rolled it out enough? Nah. We're doing one more roll to make sure it's thin and stretches over the pie dish properly. Okay. Number 1. Oh, also, I have preheated my oven to 425. It might have dinged that it is preheated, but if it hasn't, it will surely do it so soon. Okay. And I'm going to pinch the pie crust. Yeah, this rolling between wax paper is much better. Michael can attest that when I was making the blueberry pie, I got really sad at how difficult I was finding it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this to the other pie crust as well. So we've got our pie crust all stretched out, switched it to our cute little pans. And then we're gonna take our similarly shaped pans and press them into the pie. And just so that we make sure that the pie, oops, let's try and do this evenly. Hopefully I'm not creating any weird indentations. And if I am, I am. Just to make sure that the pie doesn't rise, but it does bake. So let's take this tray of pies over to the oven, and we're gonna bake them upside down. So I'm actually going to bake them on a tray just in case any pie flakes drop off. Okay, the tray is hot, so I don't want to burn my fingies. Okay, and we're gonna let that go for 15 minutes. And in the meantime, we will make the filling and the meringue. All right, so to make the filling, I'm gonna take 1.5 cups of water into a thick bottom pan. I assume that this pan is thick bottomed. It's 1.5 cup of water. And then I'm going to mix in 1/3 cup of cornstarch. Thank you to my mother-in-law for providing me with the cornstarch. And then 1¼ cup of sugar. Is this 1¼ cup? 1¼ cup of sugar. So I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to put it on low heat and start constantly until it starts to thicken. I've never made this before, and I've never used cornstarch, so we're gonna experience the magic of it thickening together. So I have no idea how long that's gonna take. I'm gonna guess 3 minutes? Okay, so it's probably been like 6-8 minutes, but you can see that the mixture is thickened based on how it's moving. I don't know, it's thickened. So we are going to pour in 4 egg yolks and whisking constantly. And we are going to keep cooking this on low until it gets thick and starts to bubble. Again, I'm not really quite sure what that's gonna look like, but we're gonna find out together. Alright, so now that we've had our 15 minutes of our blind bake at 425, ooh, this oven is hot. We're gonna go down to 350 for 5-ish minutes. Okay, so it's taking quite some time, but all of a sudden, it seems like our mixture has gotten very thick in the last, I don't know, few seconds. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna remove it from the heat. And then we're going to add in, what are we gonna add in, folks? We're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And a tablespoon, probably a generous tablespoon. Doing stuff with both hands, of lemon zest. So let's just make sure that this butter melts. I was getting very discouraged because it wasn't getting thick for so long, and then all of a sudden it like, whoosh, now it's like, feels what I feel like the texture should be. All right, butter in the middle of my whisk. And then I have to reckon with you. Your day has come. And our pie crust should be done pretty soon. Okay, so I think we just we just let this cool. Now that it's uniformly combined. I think the butter has melted, the zest is mixed in, and we're just gonna let this sit. Our timer's gone off. I'm gonna pull out these little crusts. They smell good, so there's that. Okay, let's see about flipping them. And then hopefully it is easy to remove. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? All right, let's, oops. All right, we'll just put it over here. And there's a little bit of separation in this one. We'll see about this one. Oh, I have a little bit of separation there. So whoever gets this slice is gonna have slightly less crust than their friends, but I think it's gonna be great nonetheless. Okay, so we're gonna turn that timer off and the oven stays at 350, so we're on to making the meringue. Okay. So, to make the meringue, we have our room temperature egg whites that we will put in here and just start whisking aggressively. And we're gonna put in a teaspoon of cream tartar. I'm never sure if it's tartar or tartar. And I always wonder, I think tartar is a place. And that maybe cream of tartar has nothing to do with tartar sauce, though I do not know the answer to that. Alright, so we're just going to make a meringue. But this meringue is going to be very sweet. Usually when I make a meringue, I would say 4 tablespoons of sugar, maybe 6. But we're going to put a whole cup of sugar in, which might prove a little bit tricky because if you add the sugar too quickly, it will knock the air out. We're also going to add, a little vanilla. And you don't really want to start adding the sugar until you get soft peaks or very soft peaks, which is where the bubbles start where it starts to look more like one cohesive thing instead of a bunch of air bubbles. So we're kind of getting close to soft peaks, and we're going to be pouring in this sugar for a long time. So, yeah. I'm shocked at a cup of sugar. I really am. And I don't want super stiff peaks. I want somewhat soft peaks, but I feel like maybe I'll mix it a little. I don't know. I don't know how to incorporate this much sugar without making a very stiff meringue. So maybe we'll just have a stiff meringue, and that's going to be fine. That it's mixed enough that there's no grains of sugar, that the sugar has incorporated. Good enough. Oh, that is, turns out when you add a lot of sugar to your meringue, it makes it quite delicious. Okay, so, now comes assembly time! I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to make a Michael pie. If you've watched my key lime pie video, you know that Michael is a weirdo about pie crust. So I'm debating whether or not I'm going to make one of these without a crust. It all will depend on how we apportion the filling. So I'm just Mike cleaned the stoves the other day and they are gonna get full of lemony curdy goodness. I think this is a curd, right? The filling is a curd. The filling has a curd. Well, that's a little wordplay, classic Erin wordplay for you. We'll remove that pie crust flake. And we'll see where we're at. I'm happy that this blind baking method seems to work for the most part. Maybe I'll put some foil in between. I don't know. If you have any ideas about how to blind bake without blind baking beans, let me know. What do you think, Michael? Should we do 2 pies or 3? I'm thinking just 2, and that they'll be very curdy, right?
I think 2. Curd is the best.
Curd is the word. You heard it here first, folks. I have been trapped inside for too long. That's not true. I'm very grateful for my house, and I'm grateful that I get to have time to bake. Something that really brings me joy. Curd, 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 curdity, curd. All right. All right, we're gonna call it. That seems right, right? Okay. Okay, so for the meringue, I've seen people do all these like really cute things. So I guess maybe I'll try. Some people do like, no, maybe my crust is too fragile. All right, we're gonna see how cute this meringue is. But I don't, like some people add it like a spoon at a time and then they do like this swirl. I don't know if we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna rough and tumble this meringue. Beep. Okay, so we're not gonna have any kind of cute, maybe this is cute. Is this cute? We're gonna pretend that this is cute. Making a little pretend pattern. I'm gonna do it over here too. Also, look at that wiggle. I think that that's a sign of a good lemon meringue pie, having never made one and only eaten one in my entire life. Okay, let me remove this interloper. Let me find a place for you. And then I know that the pie doesn't get cooked that long. I think it's 15 minutes. I'm gonna put it in the oven, put the timer on for 15 minutes. And then if that's wrong, you will know. We'll check back in. All right, so the timer has gone off. Oh my goodness. This is exciting. Do you want your meringue a little bit more toasted, or do you think that's,
Looks perfect to me.
Yeah.
I say it's...
I think we are in business. So we're gonna let them cool to room temperature, then maybe we'll cool them in the fridge, but we're gonna let them sit for now.
I have a bigger fork than this. All right. So, got this beautiful slice of lemon meringue pie. Comes apart, but that's part of the charm. A little bit of the crust, a little bit of the curd, and a little bit of the meringue. This is so amazing. The meringue is fluffy and marshmallowy. The lemon curd is the perfect amount. The curd is the word, by the way. And of course the crust is fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really made a successful pie where it stayed together.
Ten out of 10, right?
You know, I don't know if I should forego giving a judgment because I just don't like lemon meringue pie. I was right when I was a child. So I will give it a 7 out of 10 because that's neutral. And I don't know, just doesn't do it for me.
All right.
Bye.
Well, are you stuck in your house with nothing to do? Erin is here to bake with you. Quarantine baking with Erin.